Hey everybody, it's you know who. And guess what, folks? Bor Here, I'm gonna take these off right now. I need them because I want to read you guys a report for my arrest. But Boardman Township wants to know so much about me. I'm gonna go ahead and tell them some things that they don't know and they won't find out in their background check. My family, and we found out all this a few years back when my sister run DNA background checks, or DNA background on herself. Our family goes back by on record that they can find the records of my family in what is now called the United States of America, not the Republic, the democracy of the United States of America. But my family goes back to the early 1600s in what is now known as Virginia. I think it was called the Virginia Territory back then. But my family was here at least 130 years, somewhere between 130 and 150 years before the American Revolution. Now, my family is also my great, I don't know how many greats would go in front of that. Grandfather was Benjamin Franklin. My bloodline goes through Benjamin Franklin. And I don't know if you guys have ever been told any truths about him and how important he was during the Revolution, because he was the one that got the money from the French to even fight the war. Without Benjamin Franklin and getting that money, the war would have been lost long before it was over. Now, me, my sister, and my brother are all three listed on Sons and Daughters of the American Revolution. We're members of it. Every war since America started had family members of mine in them. Some forced, some not. My father just died December 21st, 2020. He was a Korean War combat vet. He was in the Chosin Reservoir. Myself, I was in the Army. Fort Sill, Oklahoma is where I went in. Lance Missile Crewman. I was medically discharged because of my lungs and my heart. Back then, they medically discharged me with honorable conditions. My sister followed in my dad's footprints. She was a MP and went to Fort McClellan, Alabama, the same place my dad went when he went into the Army. Because my dad wasn't drafted into the Korean War. He volunteered. My son is a disabled Marine combat vet from the Iraq War. He is the reason, him and his family is the only reason I'm in Ohio. My granddaughter. People have told me I need to go back home. But where's my home at, people? I thought it was the United States was my home. The Republic of the United States of America, to be exact. I've been all over this place. I've lived in Campbell County down in Tennessee. Campbell County the cops are so corrupted down there. There's so much stupid crap going on down there. People over in Knoxville make it a joke. If you want to kill somebody, take them over to Campbell County. You only get 7 months if you get caught. And I don't know if you guys have heard, Campbell County's the sheriff that he pulled over a damn car that had $1 million worth of drug money in it. he kept the drug money for himself. He bought him some new police cars and stuff, and put the guy that was driving the car in jail. They also steal from the drug dealers and take their money and their drugs. It's well known, folks. And I've lived down there for 3 years around that shit. Cops out in Arizona, Mesa SWAT team, had their own drug dealers. I know it because I watched them move one of them before the DEA come in on him. They went in and moved him. This stuff ain't right, folks. People, I back the military 100%, but every time I hear somebody who claims they was in the military and they fought for my rights and freedoms, I'd like to know when, because I don't have any today. And I don't put them down for it, but by God, don't stand and tell me a lie. Now, I want to read you, and I want you guys to keep in mind, I told you what happened in my other videos. And I want you to see how much they added to this police report in order to, what do they call that word? Not liable. Slander my name. My name. They're trying to slander me. And I've known enough cops and I've heard enough stories and they've told me these things, that this is how they do people that they want to get rid of. They make false claims in police reports, and when they're making claims in court, they use words like unstable, unstable conditions, stuff like that, to make it sound like you're crazy. And whether they drop the charges or not, it will still be in the police report that the officer or officers say those things. It's just like, even if when I walk away from this, when I win, it will still be in my police record that this clown said I ran from him. And you ain't gonna believe what else he says. But it blew my mind when I read it this morning, because it's the first I've even heard of it. But people, these are their tactics. This is what a bad cop does. And they start throwing so many things at you. They think, and there's a word in here, and I'm going to wait until then to get to it. But it's like let me just get to it. To start off with, people, very top, Boardman Police Department, media report for incident, and the number. It says nature of incident, nature of it, suspicion. It's right at the top. Is the nature of this whole thing that I was arrested on and everything was suspicion of something. Well, the suspicion, a misdemeanor or a felony, I don't know which it is today. I didn't think suspicion. I mean, suspicion's somebody's feeling. I mean, something I feel suspicious, you might not feel suspicious. So suspicious is like an idea. It doesn't exist. It's just one of the most common things that an officer, now that's people that ain't sergeants and stuff like that. Oh, even the sergeants will use it too, trying to get your ID, trying to get you to give up rights and obey their authority. Let me get on to this. List the officers involved that arrested me and everything. All right, so here. All right, this thing's about 10 pages thick. A lot of it's just the court stuff. But as I read this, I might talk about it a little bit, but here we go. On March 19th, 2021, at about 1840 hours, I guess that's PT1 Patrol Officer S.J. Dubas, badge number 2033, was working a detail at Giant Eagle, 1201 Dorrell Drive, when I observed David Brian Grooms, that's me. He's and they even have it spelt right on here. Capital D, lowercase AVID, capital B, lowercase RIAN, capital G, ROOMS, and lowercase. Now, that surprises me. Usually, legal documents or anything from a court, if it's got your name on it, it's all in capital letters because they're going after your straw man account, your corporate account, and not your flesh and blood. So that amazes me that they left that in there like that. Let's see. Let's get back to this. When I observed David Brian Grooms exit the store, I was standing on the sidewalk north of the entrance exit, and he caught my attention because he was holding up his right hand, flipping me off. Now, it's hard for me to read this, people. These are actually just magnifying glasses, and I have this eye I actually need for reading. I need a prescription, but this eye is worse than this eye. So all this does is magnify it, so it's harder for me. It doesn't make it any easier to read. So okay, he said I was holding up my right hand, flipping me off. I recognized Grooms because he came into the Giant Eagle on 3/15/21 and caused a scene after I asked him to put his facial covering on, and they got in parentheses COVID-19. Now, that mandate that says you have to wear that also has a medical exemption in it. Nowhere mentioned in this police report. Nowhere mentioned. But notice how many times they mention the mask. Me not wearing a mask has caused all this. I've been saying that from the get-go. Okay. Since Monday, I learned that Grooms has had numerous run-ins with Boardman PD after incidences at several locations within the township. Very true, and I have videos of all of them on my channel. Well, actually, I've only had one run-in with the police, and that was at Five Guys. The rest of them I've got videos of having run-ins, but the cops weren't even involved. It was just one incident at Five Guys where the police were called. The other incidents where the police were called was when they came on my property and I was videotaping them 2 doors down. That's where okay, now I understand where he's coming. Okay. All right. Because I've read this already, but hang on, folks. I know you're looking at the top of my hat, but just hang in there. It's only 2 or 3 more paragraphs. It's just one page, basically. But I want you guys to hear this. Let's see. Boardman PD after incidents at several locations within the township, including a prior incident at Giant Eagle where he was escorted outside and made accommodations to shop for him, which I have that video on there, and I've said it all along. Yes, when this first started, Giant Eagle asked me, a cashier said she couldn't help me without a mask. I said I can't work because I have medical condition. They brought the store manager up there, and she asked me to leave, and she brought the Boardman police officer with me. He's in my video on my channel. And I even asked him about the mandate and having a medical exemption in it. He says in the video, I don't care nothing about that. She wants you out of here. I'm going to remove you from the store. And all right, all they have to do is ask me to leave. And you can see in the video, he followed me. I followed her. We walked out front. I told her what I needed. She went back in and got it and brought it back out to me. All right. Now, he's trying to make this look bad, like I caused a scene, and I did. I guess if you cause a scene, if you just don't go along with everything everybody tells you, I guess that's causing a scene. And you try to tell them there's a medical exemption in the mandate and all that. You try to tell them that and try to get them to follow the actual mandate, and you're causing a scene. That's what cops love to say. And then they'll get you so twisted and trying to turn your stuff, and you raise your voice. Now they got you for disorderly conduct. I mean, they've got a list of this stuff. People, it just lines right up every time. Boom, 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 boom. They're going to make criminals out of all of us. Continue to listen, please. Let's see. He talked right here. Grooms is known to record these incidents and post them on YouTube. I also discovered that he moved to the same town, or he moved to Ohio some time ago. He provided a township address to officers on 7/26/20 and has failed to obtain a valid Ohio driver's license. Well, I hate to tell him, but for the first year that I was around here, I was running back and forth to Indiana. Even when I was going to court here, the address the courts had for me was my son's house. That way they could send stuff there. And when I got back here to go to court, I had the paperwork there or whatever. That was an address they could get a hold of me through, that I would get it. With me running back and forth to Indianapolis, I was running 400 miles one way just to go to court, and the judge knew it. Okay, address to officers. Okay, now it says, I had just been instructed by the head of HR to give Grooms a criminal trespass warning because he refuses to wear a facial covering and has acted belligerent towards employees several times in the past. Do you hear that, folks? Nowhere again is there a medical exemption brought up in this police report. And once again, they're using not wearing a mask as a reason to cite me, charge me, whatever. It states it right in the doggone police report. Let me read that again. I have just been instructed by now this is on the day that they arrested me, head of HR, to give Grooms a criminal trespass warning because he refuses to wear a facial covering and has acted belligerent towards employees several times in the past. Several times in the past is bullcrap, because they would have thrown me out of there several times. The only time there was any argument or any discussion about anything was in my video when they escorted me out front, like it said, and I stayed out there. They went and got my stuff, brought it back to me. Very next day, and the video's on my channel, I went to the head of Giant Eagle that was there at that store and videotaped it. I had my video going. He didn't know it. I have the video on my channel. I showed him my medical I allowed him access to my medical records, which he really had no access to, no right or law to have access to them. But I gave them to him anyway. I let my HIPAA rights be violated by showing him that, just so I could get in and out of that store. And in that video that's on my channel right now, Prosecutor's Office of Boardman Township, trustees, Boardman Township police chief, and anybody else that wants to see it, he told me on video that I could be in there. There had been no incidences since the time they escorted me out, and Officer Dubas has lied again, claiming there's several incidents. There isn't, or they would have ran me off a long time ago. There hasn't been no problem until the day he started harassing me, which was Monday. And on Wednesday, he had me arrested. Or I don't know. Friday, he had me arrested. That was it. On Friday, he had me arrested. Okay, here we go. Grooms got into a silver Ford Escape, that's my car, and was parked near the front of the store. I walked towards him and notified Boardman PD dispatch of the situation. Doesn't say what situation, just says of a situation. I'm already in my car pulling out, people. He hadn't walked towards me at any time till I was already pulling out. Let's see. I requested a marked cruiser because of Groom's unstable behavior. Unstable behavior. Unstable behavior. He backed out of his parking spot and drove eastbound. Approaching the end of the aisle when I got to his vehicle, I raised my left hand and instructed him to stop. I told him to roll down his window in order to speak with him. Groom said, "I'm not talking to you." I tried to explain that I would just needed him to roll down his window. Grooms began patting down his coat as if feeling for something. He pulled, I wish I could read it. He pulled out a cellular phone and appeared to start recording me. I told him to roll down his window, but he refused and started making a left turn towards me. You guys hearing that? Wait till you hear what he claims. Towards me, it worked. Okay, turned towards me. I told him that he was not free to leave and then yelled, "Stop," before moving out of the way to avoid being struck by his vehicle. I told dispatch that he took off despite being instructed to stop and not having a valid license. I provided his vehicle description and stated that I last saw the vehicle westbound on Durrell Drive, PTS Coffee 2060, arrived and began checking the area but was unable to locate the vehicle. Only another 2 paragraphs, folks. Hang in there. I want you guys to hear this. I was then approached by a Giant Eagle employee, and they have that person's name blacked out, as well as another name up here, who said something to the effect of, "Good thing you had," quote, "good thing you're quick on your feet," unquote. Initially, I didn't realize, this is a officer that had me arrested. Initially, I didn't realize what she was talking about, but then she told me that she was taking a break at her car, parked 3 rows away, in parentheses, when she witnessed the incident. I asked her to tell me what she saw, and she repeated everything I told Grooms. I asked her to tell me what she saw, and she repeated everything I told Grooms. She said that she saw me put my hand up and saw how he turned his car towards me, stating that they got a witness that says I pointed my car at the police officer. That's attempted murder in their eyes, people. I don't do murder. I don't attempt murders. Saw me put my hand up, and okay, let's see. He agreed to provide, wait a minute. Oh, I told Groom, she said that she saw me put my hand up and saw how he turned the car towards me. She agreed to provide a written statement. Sorry, I can't read this, man. At 18:45 hours, Grooms called 911 and advised Boardman PD dispatch that he was attacked at Giant Eagle 3 nights ago and tonight. Hell, he got that part right. I didn't know if it would be on there, but listen, because I told you I didn't know what I was saying. My nerves were so shot, I don't even know what was said. He backed up and an officer tried to stop him, but he didn't want to talk. This says, I guess it's Officer Newland. Yeah, that's it. Patrol Officer Newland, which he's the one that booked me, took me down, booked me. Newland, 2049, and Mike Manis, which 2055. They're the two that met me at my property, and I think they probably saved my life that night, to be honest with you. That guy wanted me dead. As far as up to right now, he's claiming I attempted to kill him with my car and has a witness to back it. That cop wanted me dead. He wanted them guys to shoot me dead. There's no other excuse for it. Let's see. Responded to his residence. Yes, they were the ones at my residence, and that gives the address, where they met and interviewed him. I called Sergeant J. Martin, 2013, and advised him of the chain of events. Grooms was ultimately arrested, handcuffed by Officer Newland for failure to comply. He was transported to the Boardman PD, where he was processed, Mirandized, photographed, fingerprinted. He was given a criminal trespass warning for Giant Eagle, as well as warnings for obstructing official business and misuse of 911. So he's saying my videos is causing obstruction, and if I'm in fear for my life and I'm misusing 911. In the police report, people, blows my mind. After the completion of the booking process, he was given a summons to appear in county court, number 2, at a later date. Officer Newland gave him a ride back to his residence. Grooms will be issued a citation for no driver's license. That's what it says. They're going to issue me a citation for no driver's license in the police report. Now, Officer Newland and, let's see, what's Mike's last name? I need to know that anyway, and it's on here. Let's see. It's on there. And I want to get this right. I want to get his name right, because I can't remember what his last name is. Let's see. Mike. Damn glasses. Manis, I think. M-A-N-I-S. Mike Manis. Okay, Nick and Mike, when I was being booked, pictured, photographed, painted, whatever, they were told to write me a ticket for having no driver's license. No, I'm taking these off. I don't need them. But they were told to write me a ticket for having no driver's license. And they were sitting there looking at my driver's license, a valid driver's license, and they refused to do it. They refused to do it. Now tell me something, people. When have you ever heard in your life, and I've been arrested a few times, which that don't bother me, but you tell me, where have you ever heard in your life of somebody who, according to this Boardman Township police report, had done something to have a police officer use his authority to try to stop me? I point my car at him and trying to kill him, I guess, because that's what he's saying he's got a witness for, and he agreed that I pointed my car at him and tried to run him over. It's ridiculous. I can't even remember where I was going with that, folks. This stuff just, it running through my mind, just, I can't even believe it. Oh, I know where I was going with it. Now, this guy says I aimed my car at him, attempted murder, basically, on a police officer, has a witness to back it, according to this police report. And I am arrested at home, no guns drawn, and I had a gun in my pocket when the police officers came up on my property. And I'll say it again. I carry a lifetime license out of Indiana State Police. Took me 16 weeks to get the damn thing, and it was only supposed to be 6. Now, the reason why I have it in the first place is because I'm going back. Sorry, guys, I get off on shit. But anyway, you tell me, somebody, when the cops walked up onto my property, I had a gun in my pocket. On my property. Neither of those officers feared me in any way, shape, or form. Nick Newland told me, do not place my hand on it or go towards it. Said, you don't have anything to fear from me. I will not reach for any weapon on anybody, or even my own. You don't have nothing to fear from me. And they know it. They didn't. I let Nick, when they arrested me, take the gun out of my pocket, hand it to my wife, and they took me to jail. That's the damn truth. I am not a threat to anybody. I am not unstable. And I'm telling you, people, they start doing this shit, they're setting somebody up. I'm going to end up shot, killed, and then they'll, he was Watachee running for you. He was a nutcase, gun-loving patriot. He didn't trust the government. He was a drug-dealing, rapist, murderer, and everybody in town will go, oh, my God, we didn't know that about him. My neighbors will be sitting out here going, oh, my God. And the story they come up with the day they kill me, most of you'll believe it. Just like everything else. They tell you a story and you believe it. Well, people, this is the biggest joke I've ever read in my life. They're slandering my name by saying I'm unstable, that I've caused all these problems that I haven't caused. The only problems that have been caused is this medical exemption and the mandate that Boardman Township doesn't think they have to follow. Now, I guess I'm going to call down there and ask the prosecutor's office what day I'm supposed to go to court. And I guess all these people are going to allow this to stand. The police chief isn't going to step up and stop it. I've got right now, and where I'm going to see if I can get a hold of any one of these, the 4 business cards of the trustees. I don't care if you people don't like me. I am not a criminal, whether you like me or not. And if you